What is a lesson you learned too late in life? Not everyone is down for you like they say they are. Ride or die is actually usually ride until it gets a little uncomfortable or inconvenient. Then you're on your own, but when my life goes up in flames, I will expect you to throw yourself in front of a bus for me, cause we ride or die along. My ride, you die. You have to take chances sometimes. And although it can be scary and outside your comfort zone, you'll never know what could have been unless you go for it. And even if you don't end up liking it, killing that part of your brain that kept saying you should try it looks interesting is so much more satisfying than never having tried it and leaving your brain in a constant what if. Do anything in life you're interested in. You win if it works out or if it doesn't. You win no matter what. You can be the best driver on the road, but you can't control everyone else. Always keep your head up and drive safe. Use your turn signals, but do not trust anyone else using their turn signals. Lesson I still remember from driver's ed 30 years ago. There's only one thing you know for certain when you see a car with its turn signal on. They have their turn signal on. That's it. You have no way of knowing if they plan on turning, if they change their mind at the last second, if they just forgot to turn it off. Just last month I almost got clipped because someone put their signal on way before they actually turned. Like 150 feet before the turn I was coming out of and probably 350 before the turn they were intending to use. I'm trying to visual the distance and speeds in my head, so my math might be bad. But it was way early. So essentially I cross-cut this person off and had to gun it to get of the way. 2. My dad is hard of hearing and every now and then we get lunch and sometimes he'll pick me up. I can't tell you the number of times I had so say, "Alongside Dad. Blinker is still on." It honestly made me a little concerned for his safety. He has recently bought a newer modern car which indicates to the driver better, and I even pointed out things on his dash and HUD he should notice. TLDR. This hit home with me and I rambled that I was recently almost hit by someone using their signal way too early, and also my slightly hard of hearing dad was someone who left his signal on until he got a modern car, and I showed him how the displays can be optimized to point this out. Never trust your boss or coworkers to not stab you in the back for their benefit. It's not fair. Smoking isn't worth it. As a smoker, completely and utterly agree. Check out Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Smoking if you haven't already. I listened to it on Audible in one day and that was the last day I smoked. It honestly wasn't even that hard, and I was pretty fucking addicted. Life is way happier and calmer now without it. I hope something works for you. Don't kill yourself working at a job that would replace you without a second thought. This one is so important. An early career lesson for me was to set boundaries with work. Your boss's first job. Worked my ass off for the first few years, but my manager stopped appreciating it and started handing promotions and raises to newer, younger slackers. I eased up on how hard I was working, but going from 150% to 50% drew so much more negativity than everyone else who'd been giving 10% steadily from day one. So, another important lesson: never, ever start off giving 100%. Never. If you do, it'll be so much more noticeable when you do less. It sounds like you made yourself too irreplaceable to promote. Your boss probably realized that it would be a pain to find someone to fill your shoes if you'd been promoted, so they decided just to not promote you. It's not a great position to be in if you're trying to have a career trajectory. If you don't mind those responsibilities but are bummed about losing out on the higher pay, it wouldn't hurt to bring it up to your boss and try to negotiate some type of raise to compensate you properly. They know what they're doing and want to keep you in that position. So in some ways you really have the upper hand. I've seen people fall into that position before and hate it since they actually wanted the promotions. And then I've also seen people negotiate up to a ridiculously high salary/wage that actually reflects the work they were doing. You don't need a million friends. Maybe less than 10, maybe 5. Good friends. Put a lot of effort into those relationships instead of spreading yourself too thin. Feels harder as the world is so transient these days and people move all around the world. It's easy to lose and gain friendships very quickly. Or even if you maintain long-distance friendships, they are more difficult to maintain and may not be as impactful to your social needs. I used to feel so guilty about having primarily short-term friendships that weren't super deep. Like I was failing at life, similar to how some people feel like a failure that they're not married yet. What really helped me was applying Marie Kondo's methods. She has this thing where you thank an object for the purpose it fulfilled. Like if you got an ugly sweater as a gift, its purpose wasn't to become your most worn sweater, but to increase yours and the giver's joy when it was gifted. If it fulfilled that purpose, you don't need to feel guilty about parting with it. A friendship could be transient, but that doesn't mean it was worthless. I think back on all those people I was kind of friends with and wonder how that moment with them fit into the rest of my life. Was there something I learned from them? Did they learn something from me? Did we help each other through an awkward moment, even something as simple as a class project? Did we boost each other up emotionally, maybe by laughing at a funny joke or having a conversation at some random party? Yes, deep friendships are still good for everyone to have, but there's value to short, shallow relationships. Just because someone seems nice at first, doesn't mean they're a good person. For me it's just because someone has a nice demeanor. doesn't mean they're a good person. Some people can keep it up on the outside. Sometimes you just have to let stupid people be stupid. Being alone is less lonely than being married to the wrong person. I'm going through the initial process of a divorce right now. We just listed our house for sale, and a wave of the painful reality just hit me. Been sitting here doubting myself as to whether I'm making the right choice. Might sound stupid, but this actually made me cry. I really needed to read this right now. Thanks. Editing to say I truly appreciate all the supportive comments. To all those that are in the same boat, I wish you all the very best. If anyone ever wants to talk, you're welcome to PM me. I can do it myself. Now that we're in the digital age, I learned how to change my windshield wipers, trim my rabbit's nails, repair screen windows, replace my sub pump. Heck, I always felt like I missed out learning hands-on thing because my dad checked out early. Nah, girl, you can do that shit on your own. Absolutely. YouTube is the bomb for this. You can't really help people who don't truly want to help themselves, unless a person realizes, admits, and is receptive to being helped and helping him/her/itself. You're just wasting your energy and probably adding to your own stress. Just dealt with this today. A girl I had been seeing has been saying she has been having suicidal thoughts for a long time now, and she doesn't want to get help. I mean, she does, but she doesn't. I don't know. It's really confusing, and for my own mental health I just have to realize I've done everything I can to support her and offer to help with therapy/medication, and she just has to want it herself. Brush your goddamn teeth. People who can frame everything to make themselves the victim are actually pretty toxic and most likely are the actual problem. I have learned that some people have no identity outside of their victimhood. Their only way of endearing folks to them is by garnering sympathy. I can't understand it. To me, it just seems embarrassing. That attention and actual interest are two way different things. Seda, wow, okay. Had no idea this would be so popular. For those asking for elaboration, I guess I was looking at it more from a relationship/love interest context. There are many men, women too, just going off my experience, who might give you attention, flirt, etc. But that attention does not actually mean they want to pursue anything. I've had it apply to friendships too, where the person just wants someone to party with, go to bars, but isn't interested in being more than an acquaintance. I'm not saying there's anything wrong there. I just wasted a lot of time expecting too much from the attention givers. Learning to tell the difference between the surface level stuff and the ones who actually gave a fuck was a hard but important lesson for me. And thank you all for the awards. Glad to know so many people feel similarly. Completely. I had a somewhat shitty group of friends. Good people just didn't seem to appreciate me. I started working at a new workplace and someone offered to drive me home since I was without a car at that moment, and on the way home they asked stuff about me and literally paused and wanted me to wholeheartedly answer the question and give my reasons. It stopped me in my tracks. I still remember the realization. Oh wait, you actually want to know and care about the response. I branched out my social circles after that, and the first person I started getting closer to did the exact same thing. It really made me realize the friendships I had which I thought were close good friends were actually really shallow relationships. So to reiterate your point, just because people show you attention does not mean they're interested. That the disappointment of your parents will be far shorter lived than the unhappiness you'll endure by trying to make your life fit their perfect picture. Arranged_marriage has left the chat. Not just arranged. For me it was A, marrying because I knew my religious mom would freak if I just lived with him. Then B, staying married way too long because I didn't want to disappoint my mom by getting divorced. All to find out she really cared more about my happiness than any of the rest. That other people don't care what you think. They're more worried about themselves. And you aren't the first thing on their priority list. Could have saved so many headaches if I knew this years ago. That everyone is making it up as they go along. Your teacher, parents, pastor, army generals, CEOs, everyone. No one has 100% true answers. However, success in life is about being decisive. Get enough information to make an intelligent decision, then confidently act on it. Others will think you have all the answers. I recently had to give a presentation for a new project to upper management. Going in I was thinking, oh god, I have no idea what I'm doing. After the presentation, they were very approving, which made me think, oh god, they have no idea what they're doing. It's okay to fail. That's how we learn. I used to be so afraid of failing that I never tried. Listen to your grandparents' stories and ask them as many questions as you can about their lives and family history, etc. All 4 of mine passed when I was too young to truly appreciate any of the above. This one hits me hard. I have one grandparent left and she lives in a different country. That I am capable of success. I spent so long doubting myself and not doing things because I didn't think I could. It is important to talk about your feelings, and it is okay to get help if needed. Some people just won't admit they're wrong. Don't waste time trying to get them to accept it. Wasted too much of mine own time trying to correct people. It's the allegory of the cave. Man, that's why they also say, if you want to tell folks the truth, be funny. Otherwise they're gonna want to kill you. Hey Neanderthals, there's a whole world to explore outside this cave. Also, you're wrong about everything. Okay, bye. The importance of dental health. I didn't take care of my teeth in my youth, and now that I'm older I very much regret it. The kind of romantic love I had hoped for was a fantasy in my head and not how most normal relationships work. Edit. Hey guys, thanks for all the thingies. Hugs or goats or whatever back at you. My eyes are crap from staring at tiny caterpillars all day. Don't beg someone to be in your life. Please don't. Hess begging you. Seriously though, this is good advice. Don't do it. If you wait till you're ready, you'll be waiting forever. Can you elaborate a little? A better way to put this is there is no perfect moment. If you want something, just fucking go for it. Just fucking send it. Bro.